Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. Hilton brings you new ways to stay, with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Coaching Youth Hoops Podcast.
They're playing basketball.
Basketball. Here's our hosts, Steve Collins. And Bill Flitter.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops. Hey, Coach, season's right around the corner, huh?
Can't believe it already.
I know. It's crazy.
Love it.
I know. I am too. I'm excited.
How does it look for you?
We'll be pretty good, I think. I'm hoping. But that kind of leads into today's topic, which is how to choose the right practice drills. I've actually been talking to Coach Morgan, one of my assistants, about this and kind of revamping everything. What's your thought on picking the proper practice drills?
Well, I came up with an acronym for it. I didn't tell you this.
Did it? This is new to me.
This is new. This is brand new material. Because I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, because there's a lot of, in our Facebook group, there's a lot of questions about drills and what drill to do this and this, right? So that this is always a hot topic. And I thought, okay. And I came up with the acronym called Fun First. Because again, we're talking coaching youth hoops. We got to make it fun, right? Like, okay, fun first. So one, of course, fundamentals. I'll just go through them one by one and we can dig into them and tell me what you think. Fun first. Utilize proper technique, right? So showing proper technique, navigating live situations. So making sure that you're drilling live situations, focusing on game-like drills, increasing difficulty gradually, right? Day 1 versus day 20. And
right.
Then repetition, right? Repeating, doesn't necessarily mean repeating the same drill over and over. It's repeating whatever you're teaching over and over. There's 100 different rebounding drills, right? But that just reinforce those basics. What areas do you need based on what your team is looking like? So specific areas of need. And the last one, of course, tailored to age level. And I think that last one is probably one of the most important things. Is a lot of times coaches pick drills where the kids' cognitive and motor skills aren't there yet, and you're trying to force these drills, right?
I like that. So how do you do that? Like, how do you so that's a lot of stuff, first of all. Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? Like, how do you draw them out? How do you plan them out? How do you do those kind of things?
Yeah. So, one, hey, head on over to the basketball play creator, and you can draw them all out on there and create playbooks. Boom, drop.
You can do that. That's true. I'll put the link down below for that. Yeah. Yes, that's true.
But it's. I start with kind of what does my team need, where are they? And that's going to change throughout the season. But I break it up into something we always talk about on this podcast, which is, okay, what do I need for my offense? What do I need for my defense? What do I need for my transition offense? And what do I need for my transition defense, or transition defense, right? So I think about all of those as segments, those 4 segments. And then I've added a 5th one that I've been kind of playing around with, which is more just skills. And that shrinks and expands depending on like
the
this
time
week.
of year. Yeah, the time of the season. Yeah.
How well did we do over the weekend? I was telling you we had games this weekend, and man, it's like the first time they dribbled the ball. That's what it looked like. And so we're going to expand that skill section a little bit more, where we're just doing, some ball handling and some basic fundamental stuff and shooting, just raw shooting drills, right? That are necessary, it's layups. And anyway, so that'll change. But yeah, I think then, do you need more fundamentals, right? Going back to the F, right? And the first one, and they're fun. How big of a section is that for you? Or, probably in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, that section is going to be big, right? Dribbling, passing, shooting, footwork drills, right? Picking those, right? And then, of course, mix in, technique drills that work on doing all the kind of next level, like the proper shooting form drills. It's hard to teach a 3rd grader can barely get the ball up, using 2 hands. You might want to wait on that one, right? Definitely want to, like I said, we talked about navigating live situations. So we're incorporating, 2-on-2, 3-on-3 type of drills, right? Also game and game speed, whatever that means for you at the appropriate age. Kind of similar. The live situation is in the game but this could be more competitive, where navigate the live situations are more of a shell drill, but right. And then the game drills are you're going after it, right? There's a competition of some sort.
It matters too. I think it matters on that age level too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so I hate what you're describing about breaking practice down, and that either offense or defense or transition off of transition defense. Now since we ran our coaches clinic, you've added the fundamental part. So yeah. I don't know if we'll have to go back and add that, but that would be something. You're talking about something we already talked about in terms of that coaching clinic a little bit, right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
And where can they find that, Coach?
I don't know. Where can they find it?
basketballcoachesclinic.com. Go over there. A lot of this stuff is covered in that clinic. But
right.
So it's a great resource if you're a new coach, or if you're you need a refresher. It takes 30 years of our combined experience and more, and puts it into. I
have 30 years.
30 years plus into 2.5 hours. We've taken all of the pain and all of the suffering that we've done over that time period and condensed it down to only stuff that
I know. And something that I didn't even talk about in that clinic about drills for me is there is a little bit of experimental. Like, I'm going to tell you, some of the best drills I do is because I tried something and it worked. Now, I don't share all the ones that I tried and it didn't work, but that's a teaching method. We play a game called Spartan Ball. I literally invented it in the last 5 minutes of a practice once, where you kind of play 3-on-3 and you play at all 3 baskets on the side of a court. And you can go to any of the 3 baskets. So they have to defend and they have to do this. You can play it 4-on-4. Anyway, I found that they love Spartan Ball now because we're the Spartans. That's why I call it Spartan Ball. Yeah. But some of the greatest things, and again, even if you're a youth coach and you're not, you kind of know your kids. If they need to be competitive or not competitive, or do you need to keep drills moving, or all of those things. You kind of know that angle. As a youth coach, it's like it better than we do in some respects. I think that's important to think about.
Yeah, definitely. I actually did the same thing. I invented a drill on the fly based off of another drill we were doing. And I'm like, wait a second, why is there only one shooter? Everybody should be shooting, right? And passing and shooting on this. We had like three people crossing the line. And then I had two coaches out of bounds with two balls. And then the one group, or they started with one ball and a pass. And then the coaches just passed to the other two open players. And it was stupid, simple drill, but we try to get, X number of points and Y number of times out of that. So adding those in and experimenting a little bit. And then, it's like, did it work? Didn't it work? And then just get rid of it if it didn't work, or if it took just like way too much explanation, or go back to the drawing board.
If I had a nickel for every drill that looked good on a piece of paper that I'd drawn up, oh my gosh, it's like. So anything else, Coach, on how to choose the right practice drills?
Well, and I think you got to be really careful as a youth coach where you pull your drills from.
Yeah, you're not Coach K. Sorry.
You're not Coach K, and nor do you have Coach K players. When you see things that they're doing on YouTube, and you see college kids do it, can it really translate to the youth level, right? So I just be really careful on where you're pulling drills from.
All right. Anything else, Coach?
Yeah, one last thing too. I should have mentioned this when we were talking about it. Is if you go to our website, Coaching Youth Hoops, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there is a resource that you can opt in to receive to know what to teach at what age. It's one of our more popular resources, and it's just right at the bottom of the page, coachingyouthhoops.com. Just opt in for it. We'll send you a PDF. It's pretty thick.
It's free PDF. And it's cool. And you and Coach is a graphic artist, so it's like,
I don't know about that. But,
you're something. I was giving you a compliment. Take it.
I appreciate that.
Run with it.
Run with it. There we go.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it. I think that's good.
All right. Till next week.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.